Welcome and step into the IDS Retail Park, where retail's next moves take shape. I'm Maya, here with Christopher to unpack a radical experiment in sustainable retail. Green P, the world's first green retail park in Turin, Italy. Please be advised this podcast features AI clone voices created with human oversight. All content is reviewed by experts for accuracy and relevance. Before we dive in, an important disclaimer: today's episode is based on research and an exclusive presentation conducted in 2022 to 2023. While the core insights and trends remain highly relevant, some details may have evolved since then. Also, you should check out our previous episode on Green P if you haven't already for a thorough introduction into who they are. You can find all resources in the episode description. So, Christopher, Green P sounds audacious, a department store built from the ground up to be sustainable. What makes this different from legacy retailers adding green initiatives?
Well, it's the inverse approach, Maya. Most department stores are trying to retrofit sustainability onto century-old operations. Green P started with a manifesto and built everything: product curation, building materials, even energy systems around it. They're not pivoting. They designed the business to be green from day one.
And that manifesto is signed by all partners. What does that commitment actually look like in practice?
It's a filtering mechanism. Almost all partners are Italian or produce entirely in Italy because locality matters for carbon footprint. If a brand can't align with the 10 pillars in the manifesto, they don't get shelf space. That's a hard line most retailers can't afford to draw.
Right, because Green P doesn't carry legacy vendor relationships. Let's talk about the building itself. I read it can be disassembled with a screwdriver and a 24 millimeters wrench. Now, if that's intentional design for circularity, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's right, Maya. So get this. The outer shell uses wood from trees that fell naturally in a storm. The paint purifies air, reducing pollution by 88% and killing 99.9% of bacteria. They even have decorative wind turbines at the entrance and floor panels that capture energy from foot traffic.
That's brilliant. But it came at a cost, 20% more than a traditional build. How do you justify that to investors and stakeholders?
Well, you have to start by reframing the question. Yes, upfront costs are higher, but operational savings compound: lower energy bills, stronger brand equity, regulatory future-proofing. And Francesco Farinetti, Greenpeace CEO, had credibility from Italy. That track record bought him room to experiment.
Speaking of Italy, Green P positions itself as the Italy of things. Everything outside the body, from furniture to fashion. Walk me through the store layout.
Ground floor is a museum. Before you shop, you're educated about sustainability challenges, simple to complex. Then you see cars, energy solutions, services. First floor is furniture and appliances. You can outfit a kitchen for 4,000 euros or spend 50,000 euros on a statement piece.
And fashion spans multiple floors with over 60 brands, 80% Italian. But here's what intrigues me: they carry both sustainability native brands like Patagonia and legacy brands they've partnered with to produce exclusive green lines. How does that dual strategy work?
It's pragmatic. Patagonia and EcoAlf already have sustainability in their DNA, easy alignment. But partnering with Superga or K-Way to create short-run sustainable collections, that's influence. You're nudging the industry, not just curating the already converted.
And they're not limiting themselves to mid-range. Brunello Cucinelli, Zegna, Herno, luxury brands are in the mix. That signals sustainability isn't a budget constraint, it's a value system.
Correct. The portfolio grew from 20 to 65 brands between 2020 and 2022. Most operate under concession terms, which lowers Greenpeace's inventory risk while giving brands a platform to test sustainable models. It's a win-win if the foot traffic delivers.
And the foot traffic is significant. In 2021, despite weekend closures due to COVID restrictions, they welcomed 20 million visitors. Ground floor alone saw 10 million. What's driving that volume?
Destination appeal. Green Pea isn't just a store, it's an experience. 5 floors, multiple restaurants, including a Michelin starred option, a congress area, a rooftop for loyalty members. They host over 250 events a year: pizza making classes, sustainability courses, corporate events.
That event strategy is smart. Their core customer is 60% over 55 years old, same demographic as Eataly. But events pull in 28 to 35-year-olds. How do you balance serving both?
Layered programming. Older customers come for curated product and dining. Younger customers come for events, vintage sales targeting Gen Z, and the social currency of being seen at a sustainable venue. The membership program helps. €50 a year for 10% off everything. About 5,000 members visit at least monthly.
Now, that membership number feels low for 20 million annual visitors. Is that a data capture challenge?
Partly. Italian regulations prevented them from syncing the Eataly customer database, so they had to build from scratch. That's a painful lesson. Even within the same family of brands, data portability isn't guaranteed.
Let's talk about secondhand, because Green Pea sells pre-owned items and offers repair services. That's counter to the traditional retail incentive of selling new. How do they make that work financially?
They treat it as brand alignment and marketing. Selling secondhand or repairing an item might not drive margin on that transaction, but it reinforces the manifesto. Customers see you walking the talk, and that builds trust. Trust drives repeat visits, which drives lifetime value.
That's a long-term play. Now, Green Pea is expanding, Dubai next, then Milan. They're also in talks with Amazon for e-commerce. How do you scale a model this curated without diluting the brand?
Very carefully. Dubai is interesting because it's a market hungry for premium sustainability narratives. Milan makes sense as a fashion capital. E-commerce with Amazon is riskier. You lose the immersive experience. They'll need to figure out how to tell product stories digitally as compellingly as they do in-store.
And they're exploring becoming a certifying body for sustainability. That's quite ambitious, moving from retailer to standard setter.
It's logical if you've built the expertise. Green Pea has vetted dozens of brands against their manifesto. That due diligence has value. If they can monetize certification services, it's a revenue stream that reinforces their authority.
Let's pivot to the bigger question. What can legacy department stores learn from Green Pea, given they can't start from scratch?
3 things. 1. Storytelling. Green Pea educates customers before they shop. Legacy stores can do the same. Use signage, digital screens, staff training to communicate impact. 2. Partnership discipline. You can't flip your entire assortment overnight, but you can set criteria for new vendors and phase out the worst offenders. 3. Transparency. Own your journey. If you're not 100% green yet, say so, but show progress.
That last point is crucial. Greenwashing backlash is real. Customers can smell performative sustainability from a mile away.
Right. And Green Pea's advantage is authenticity. They acknowledge there's no such thing as 100% green. Every product, every building has a footprint, but they measure it, communicate it, and work to reduce it. That honesty is disarming.
One challenge I see, Green Pea's customer skews older and affluent. Sustainable products often carry a price premium. How do you avoid sustainability becoming a luxury good accessible only to the wealthy?
That's the industry's toughest tension. Green Pea offers a 4,000 euros kitchen, which isn't cheap but isn't unobtainable. The second-hand section helps. Fundamentally, scaling sustainable production drives costs down. The more retailers commit, the more suppliers invest in green processes, the more accessible it becomes.
So it's a virtuous cycle, but someone has to go first and absorb the early cost. Green Pea is doing that. Legacy retailers watching them are getting a roadmap and a challenge.
That's the value of these experiments, Maya. Green Pea won't be replicable for everyone, but pieces of it are. The manifesto structure, the event programming, the repair services, those are transferable. You adapt the model to your context.
And with EU sustainability regulations tightening, the pressure to adapt is only increasing. Green Pea is ahead of the curve, but the curve is coming for everyone.
No doubt. The question isn't whether to act, it's how fast and how boldly. Green Pea shows what's possible when you lead with values and build the business around them.
Christopher, thank you for walking us through Green Pea's radical model.
Yeah, no problem, Maya. Thanks for the invite. See you later.
Thank you all for joining us for this episode of the IADS Retail Park. To everyone listening, you can read the full exclusive for more details. The link is available in the episode notes. You can also find a link to our free white paper on reinventing department stores through sustainability for further reading. Don't hesitate to connect with us on LinkedIn, find us on Substack, or visit iads.org for fresh resources. Thanks again for tuning in to the IADS Retail Park, where retail giants evolve or go extinct.